We're back. Thanks for joining us. Seven Rivers Racing on KQEG. I'm Dan Dyker along with Al Losi, talking with Matt Henderson. Drives the Quick Trip NASCAR late model number 33 along with his father John, who is his #1 crew chief and probably #1 fan supporter and #1 Tums tour at the racetrack every Saturday night. And Matt started things off this year a way to go. Checkered flag win in his heat race to start the season. He also finished third in points and third in the feature this weekend. We've got some footage of Matt's race during the heat race win, and it was one of those, Matt, that, well, you got enough asphalt distance between you and the rest of the group that there were really no worries.
Well, I knew Skyler was going to be fast, so right out of the box I knew I just had to foot to the floor, and, you know, I knew he was going to be coming. He's always fast, Jay's always fast in those cars, and if I had any shot in winning, I was going to have to go right away and not hold anything back, and that's what I did. And
now, did you realize at any point in the race here, and of course we've got Michael Sauter, Nick Clements, Steve Owens, and Harley Jankowski, 5 fantastic-looking cars as we were talking on the program. I love how everybody's cars look this year. Matter of fact, Matt went back to his red and gold look that he had a couple of years ago. Did you know how close Skyler was behind you, or did you just know he was back there and you couldn't let up?
Well, whenever I'm out front, I just keep telling myself, this is just, you know, run practice laps. Don't worry about what's going on behind you. Just, you know, pretend every lap is a qualifying lap. And that's what I was trying to do, but, you know, you got to keep your eye in the rearview mirror every now and then, and I could see he was catching me. And my car was not the greatest. As the race went on, it was getting worse, but I just did everything I could, and see us side by side, and the car was actually not too bad on the outside, which surprised me, but and right there, actually, I was going to try and go back under him, but didn't work out, but in the end, we got the win, and that's what matters.
White flag comes out right there, and of course, you got him down the back straightaway. Do you like that kind of competition as we see the last lap right here? You take it back. Does that make you push as being a driver more, knowing you're side by side with somebody and you've got 1 lap to go to win this thing?
Yeah, that means you know, all bets are off. You got to do whatever you can and try and bring it home in one piece, but yeah, you just got to do what you can, and
now,
however you finish.
Now, as a father, you have, and as the crew chief, you have 2 responsibilities. He's in the winner's circle. Do you run down and enjoy the winner's circle, or do you get back to the pits to get tire temperatures and get the markings off the car?
I actually forget that when he's, especially after a feature, that he's in the top 3, he's going to stop up in front, and I'm up on the wall always watching, and I mean, my crew, they'll see me 1 second, and the next second I'm just vanished, which means I am down at the trailer thinking about him coming in, getting my pen, getting my light so I can measure tires, and you know, you're always pumped, and then all of a sudden it'll dawn on me he's up in front, probably interviewing with Dan, and I can calm down and maybe walk up and congratulate him there. So, but
the second piece of video we're going to show, and again, Skyler Holzhausen was your nemesis all night long, because during the feature event, I had just noticed as the first pack had broken out after a couple of restarts, there was 3 cars that were not budging, and it was Skyler Holzhausen, it was Matt Henderson, and it was Michael Sauter. And for at least 6 or 7 laps, you 3 were glued to each other. Nobody wanted to budge to try to get out of that second pack that was developing.
Yeah, we gotta give each other room, but you know what? This is racing. We're not just gonna pull over for each other. And yeah, I know Skyler was behind me all night long, and I will say I'd rather see him behind me than in front of me, but yeah, I couldn't get him off my bumper.
What did you learn from Saturday night that may help you not only this coming Saturday but for the rest of the season? Obviously, you got some things figured out.
Well, I figured out that it's not so bad going on the outside on them restarts, because like I was saying, the car was really tight on the inside, and I had nothing to lose. It was either finish 10th or worse, or take a shot on the outside, and that's what I did. And there's usually a slim chance you might be able to get down and not get freight trained, which that's what I was hoping for, and that's how it worked out, and that's what I got to do to finish up front, and that's what I got to do.
Well, I tell you what, you and Steve Carlson, Todd Korish, and Nick Clements made that one heck of a finish where nobody had, even a quarter of a track lead over anybody in the closing minutes of that race. And a good way to start the season, third in points. Obviously, you had said before we even came on, points right now you're not worried about. You're worried about getting your car dialed in and back on the track each weekend.
Yeah, we just got to work on being consistent and having fast race cars, and the points. We're not really worried about the points. We're out there to have fun, and obviously points matter, but in the end, load the car up every night. The points will, they'll work out how they work out, and as long as we had a good year and had some fun and hopefully won some races, that's really the main thing.
Your 33 late model plastered with sponsors again this year, and I noticed that you got some faithful sponsors that come back year after year. Who is on the 33 NASCAR Quick Trip late model this year?
Well, every year since we've been starting, we've had Alter Federal Credit Union there on the hood, MAV TV, Charter Communications. 100.1 jumped on this year, which is huge for us. They promote us on the radio, and also we got Bond Drywall Supply, Fast Lane Auto, Hungry Peddler, Billy's Lantern, Custom Excavating, Bendel Excavating, Ames Oil, John's Drywall, InTheHunt.com, Collision Specialists, and Folding Construction, Retaining Wall Specialists. We could always use more, but that's quite a mouthful.
And of course, you always have Mom and Brittany's sponsorships on a weekly basis.
Yeah, they're always down in the shop helping us out. We'd be lost without those two. So.
Now, when the two of you, you spend a lot of time in the shop, not just at the racetrack. What do you do? And you work together too during the day. So you're spending 24 hours together. When you two get away, do you guys go fishing? Do anything to get some time away from the racing or from the business?
Well, if he sits down for more than 2 minutes, whether it's, he doesn't sleep at night, he just sits in the chair and thinks about stuff. But I don't know. I bought a house last year, and so if I'm not working in the race shop or at the track, I'm working at the house or helping him out with whatever he wants to do at his house, which could be farming, or he's into everything, But it's hard to get away, but when you do, we're never just sitting down. We're always out there working.
Well, again, I would encourage fans to stop down to the pits. Brand new hot shot cards like this one. This is last year's. They'll have this year's cards coming, as all the drivers will eventually. Matt will always step up, sign an autograph, and take pictures. And he's one of the better ones to communicate with on the track. He's always got some delightful tales to talk about, as well as John. If I can get him away from the timing of the cars or the taping of the tires, just one of the fantastic crews we have at the La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway. And week number 2 coming up this week, we're going to be adding the Winter World Hornets. And going to have a good night of racing. Bring a non-perishable food item, as a matter of fact, and you can get $2 off your admission. Matt Henderson drives the number 33 Quick Trip NASCAR late model. Matt and John, we appreciate you both coming in.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
All right, folks, next week, I think we're going to talk some more sportsman drivers on the near horizon. Excalibur Speedway in Toma, the Cranberry Cruise 125. You can get your entry form off Excalibur.com. They've got the Big Enduro coming up. Races were canceled last weekend in Mississippi Thunder because of Mother Nature. She may give them a break. Friday is supposed to look pretty good. And head up to Fountain City if you are into dirt track racing. For John and Matt Henderson, Al Losi, I'm Dan Iger. Thanks for joining us. Look for youtube.com/Seven Rivers Racing. You can upload all the programs there as well. We'll see you next week on Seven Rivers Racing here on KQEG TV.